Hello everybody, I am not your average Joe. This is my lovely wife Rebecca, and we're here today to answer your questions, comments, and concerns regarding my story, The Red Swordsman, Shattered Fragment, a fan fiction of the ever-popular series Sword Art Online. I started writing this one, what do I think, like around Thanksgiving, like 2 years ago now? So it's been a little slow going on it. I'm about to release the 12th chapter, but to be fair, like each chapter is like 10,000 plus words long.
They're very long.
Yeah. And it's more of a challenge because it's written, for the most part, it's written in first person. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely been a challenge for me. I did a recap of pretty much all the reviews done, chapters 1 through 10. But with a new chapter coming out this Memorial Day weekend for 2019, I figured it would be about time that I do chapter 11 reviews, the most recent one. So without further ado, let's get started with reviewer Kong.hg0411. Says, I'm not crying, it's just sand in my eyes. I just hope Mataris could overcome it, even though the train has already gone down the abyss. Finally, I have the feeling that the only one seeing Crimson is Mataris. It's not that severe, right? Okay, so...
Yeah, maybe recap the chapter real quick.
Okay, yeah, so in this chapter, Mataris has been on his own for a while, or on his own, as we see. He's got some companions, some that are unfamiliar and one that is quite familiar, and they're helping him in his goal to rid Aincrad of red and yellow players. Let's see, this is the episode, so to the anime, this is the episode, this is like episode 4 actually, where Kirito runs into Celica and helps her to revive her dragon familiar Pina. And in this version, it's the Moonlit Black Cats. They're still a guild. It consists of Kirito, Sachi, Kiriha or Suguha Kirigaya, and Rivka, Becca, the character based on Becca. They're still a guild, even though they're very small, and they've just been trying to focus on clearing floors. And they were hired by a guy to hunt down this one yellow guild in particular. But they kind of suspected the Mataris also had them on his hit list, and in a showdown that occurs between all of them, he reveals that he has his compatriots, one of which looks very similar to him and also acts like him, which has really thrown Kirito and the others for a loop. So I left quite a few heads scratching, I think, with the end of this chapter. Let's see. So back to his review. I mean, say it one more time, I might believe you that you're not crying. Let's see. You just hope Mataris could overcome. I mean, the guys had like pretty much most of the people that he came to love like killed in front of him, or like he wasn't able to be there when his parents were killed in the car accident. So he's dealing with that, and just
it's like he's probably afraid to even continue caring about the people he has left because. You know, what's going to happen when he loses them. He knows he can't handle much more, and he's pretty much snapped at this point. Yeah.
I get the feeling that this guy thinks that Crimson is a figment of Mataris' imagination. He's not. He's
something else.
He's something else, yeah. I mean, I kind of, I think I explained it in this chapter, all the hollows and stuff.
If not, we'll get more.
No, I did. I
did.
I did. He's, so basically I guess the best way to describe it is that he's like an echo of Mataris' mind from a little while back, before his sister got killed. So he acts very similar to him, but he's not quite the same.
But you explained, for the people who haven't played the games and read the novels.
Yeah, I explained
what a hollow is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a way for Aincrad. It's a way for Sword Art Online to test the item drops basically that it generates, and whether or not.
So he's basically an AI based on Mataris' mind when he first entered the game.
Not quite when he first. Let's see. I had a timeline. I think he was generated around the time. It was a little bit before Asuna was killed, actually. Okay. I think so.
All right. So before a lot of the real heavy stuff started going down.
Yeah. He knows that his parents were killed, but Mataris had to explain to him, Asuna's dead. Our sister is dead. These other people are dead. You know.
Yeah.
So like he's aware of it, but he didn't live through it.
Yeah, he's going through it in a different
secondhand
way.
manner almost.
Yeah. So it's not.
And he's not in possession of full sentience, at least not when he's first created. He's like... So most of these hollow AI, they don't ever possess full sentience because they just get killed by the system pretty quickly.
Yes.
But he's surviving for a lot longer than they usually do, partly because of his unique skill and partly because he's been learning from his source, let's call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I hope that answers that. No, he's Mataris is crazy. He's not that crazy. Let's see. Kirito Zen says, Kiriha's out for blood. Kirito, that's a bad choice of words. That will come back and bite you in the ass or the heart later. I think he's referring to, there's a point in the conversation where there's a conversation that happens where Kirito's feeling very embarrassed and he's just like, somebody stabbed me in the heart, because that would be less painful in this conversation right now.
Dramatic.
Yeah. So we'll see if that does come back to bite him. And yeah, Kiriha hates Mataris.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't really know him to begin with, and now just looking at what he's done at this point from her perspective, it's like, yeah, this dude's a tool. Like,
yeah, he killed their guild leader to start things off.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of fitting for her personality, because Suguha is a very spitfire kind of character, and once she kind of gets fixated on something, she doesn't really stop. So and for the most part in the original show, that's channeled towards gaming and stuff, and
she's
whatever.
Not one of my favorite characters, but it makes a lot of sense that she's.
I mean, I'd hope that this version is more well received than.
Yeah, I feel like I like this version better than the original version.
Yeah, just nip a few problems in the bud before they can get started. Okay, so Joe Clone, one of our regulars, says, I knew Mataris made his own guild, albeit not an official one recognized by the system, I assume. Why does the Fifth Commandment sound familiar? I love that name. Didn't expect Crimson to be Mataris' hollow clone, but it makes sense. Now I'm curious about how Asuna's hollow clone could possibly be entering the story. That's probably me extrapolating again. Honestly, I hadn't really considered Asuna's hollow clone appearing in the story, and honestly, it probably won't happen because her hollow would have had to survive for quite a long time. I mean, it's possible there was one at one point, but I don't think I honestly don't think that's going to happen. Interesting thought, though. And the Fifth Commandment is a reference to the biblical Fifth Commandment, which translates as "Do not murder," which is both kind of Mataris' mission statement and ironic, because he's basically out to kill all the people that would kill
people.
Yeah, he's killing. He doesn't see it as murder though, because these people have already taken lives of others. He doesn't view it as innocence.
Yeah, he's very twisted. But he's that's how he's reasoning through it.
I mean, that's his line of thinking. So that's how the Fifth Commandments. That's the name of his guild, and no, it's recognized by the system. He made a party and then they turned it into a guild, and that's that. I don't think there's any restriction.
Can AIs be a part of a party?
On a temporary basis, yes.
Because I feel like he wouldn't have.
Well, okay, so Quest AIs can join you can become part of your party.
Don't you need a certain number to make a guild, though?
It depends on the game. I think in SAO you actually only need 3 people at a minimum.
So him.
So it's him, the AI Straya, who's recognized as a player by the system.
Oh, that's right.
Crimson, and then there's Simon.
Okay,
so it's 4 people.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And it recognizes Crimson as a...
It doesn't recognize him as a player, but honestly, it probably recognizes him as a Quest AI. It's probably how Straya set it up.
Gotcha.
Because Quest AI can join your party and be part of it for a certain number of times. And if you don't complete the quest, then they don't have to leave your party.
Kind of like in Old Republic, where you can have a companion who goes with you. And does, okay, cool.
And as long as you don't finish the quest that they're a part of, they don't leave your party.
Got it.
Okay. Let's see. Antax the Legendary Zoroark, another one of our regulars, says, excellent chapter, Mataris. Love this. A fantastic chapter. It was so good. I loved every moment of it. I'm curious to see what will happen next. Keep it up. Thanks, dude.
Thank you for all the positivity. That's great.
I feel like it's very difficult to generate any kind of positivity into the reviews on this story.
Yeah, because it's it's taken such a dark turn, and it continues to do so for a while. Mm-hmm. So, thank you for the positivity. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we kind of need that. Let's see. Triforce Hero. This guy's been following my Red Swordsman stories, I think, since like the original one. So I'm almost glad.
Which was what year? Do you think?
Oh gosh, I think it was like. I want to say 2014.
Wow,
maybe.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been. This guy's been in contact with me for a while, and I always appreciate hearing from him. Okay, so Triforce Hero says, glad to hear you are well, Mataris. This chapter was probably the best I've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. It delivered pretty much every emotion, and by the end of it, it just makes me wish the next part was out to read already. Can't wait to see the next chapter. Well, good luck. Well, you're in luck, dude, because it'll be out this Memorial Day week. It'll actually be out...
this Friday?
This Friday. Actually, this video will honestly probably be published after I've put up the chapter.
Okay.
But... yeah, because I'm timing it to release while we're out on vacation.
Okay, got it.
Alrighty. Thanks for your support, man. Ethan Kuronis says, now I'm really confused. That's why this story is named Shattered Fragment. And the appearance of Sinon is reminding me of this fairly bad SAO fic I found. Are you calling my story bad? That hurts a little bit, man.
No, I actually, to be fair, felt the same way until he explained her presence. Because I was like, why on earth is she here? This makes no sense.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, so next so the chapter that's coming out here on Memorial Day weekend, that'll go into, like, I kind of touched on it briefly, like how she ended up there, but it'll go more into why she's there and why she would agree to join him, especially given her own circumstances.
Yeah, because I mean, at first I was like, whoa, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would be okay with this. And why is she even in ASAO to begin with? So I got you. When he first mentioned that, when he was reading it to me, I was like, what are you doing? But I promise it makes sense if you keep reading.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They touch on it in the video game, SAO Hollow Fragment. I just altered the timeline a little bit.
Got it.
But it still fits into what could have happened. And a guest says, wait, if Kirito and Sachi are a couple, why didn't you go more into that? This is one of the few Kirito and Sachi stories out here. I just don't understand why it wasn't covered in greater detail. That's a good point.
That makes sense. I feel like in the original, it was just like their friendship was moving on at this like really natural pace. And like it just seemed, before she died in the original, it just seemed like that was going to be the natural course of things because their personalities and the way they were bonding. Like, because Kirito and Asuna have a very, like, rocky up and down relationship where they like each other, they hate each other, they like each other, and it's just like, they're kind of pulling on your heartstrings with that one, but with Asuna out of the way, and Sachi not dead, it's like, I feel like that personality, and not that I don't ship Kirito and Asuna in the original, because I do like that pairing, but if they had chosen to go this route like Joe did, I think that it wouldn't be this crazy, tumultuous, emotional back and forth thing like in the original.
I think it's also partially a tumultuous thing because of the PTSD he suffers from the death of the Black Cats.
Yeah.
He in the books he says he's afraid to get attached to people.
Yeah, and so I mean, and understandably it would probably happen, but I think with her still in the picture, with all of this stuff going on around them, it would only make sense that they would kind of be drawn together, really for comfort more than anything.
Yeah, so real quick, in the books, it still so there's 2 points I'm going to illustrate. One is that in the books, it still says that their relationship was akin to that of two wounded animals licking each other's wounds for comfort. And you're right, they did gravitate toward each other because of that. And in the original web novel, before this was actually made into a published series of books and manga and all that, which is no longer canon, but it was originally Reki Kawahara's intent that Sachi was the first person that Kirito fell in love with. Like I said, that's not canon anymore, but it kind of...
That was one of his initial intentions.
Yeah, and like the way that it's written and the way that you see it happen in the show, it kind of still tends to lean towards that, even though they don't really touch on the subject too much.
Yeah, and so I feel like Sachi's like this unspoken emotions kind of character. And I feel like if you think about it, when you go through something really traumatic with a group of people and then you have something happy like a relationship pop up, people tend to be more on the down low about it for a while, especially when everyone's recovering from all the trauma. So, I mean, I can understand wanting more detail, like, oh my gosh, they're together, this is great, like, I want to know more.
I might do like a one shot like spin-off, like a separate chapter as a short story.
Kind of explain
how that happened. Or maybe I'll do it as a flashback chapter.
But I just
let me know what you guys prefer.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd like to see that too. But for me, it's just like, I guess I didn't really think about it because it's like everyone else is going through all this stuff, and it's like clearly they've gravitated toward each other. It's been a long time coming, and so I don't know.
So there's two things. There's a couple things I want to bring up. Is that one is that this story is not mainly about Kirito and his friends. It's about the Red Swordsman. It's in the name. They're in the story, and they're a very important part of it. They are, I would call them secondary main characters, but the main character is the Red Swordsman. This is his story. So I suppose that's the reason why Kirito and Sachi's relationship didn't quite come to the forefront, although I do want to avoid some of the things that I perceive to be mistakes from the original series, is that Kirito and Asuna, they did build up a relationship again after the Murder in the Safe Zone arc, but it was over the course of several months. Of course, in the anime, there's only so much time that you have, which is one of the reasons I appreciate the Sword Art Online progressive novels, which is going to cover floors 1 through 75 in detail. And it goes into how Kirito and Asuna's relationship had its up and downs, which gives us a lot more context. And I do want to give more context to these characters because I feel like they deserve better.
Yeah, so a spin-off chapter would be awesome.
A spin-off chapter or a flashback chapter. Yeah, let me know what you guys would prefer.
For sure.
Because you're right. There's a lot less Kirito and Sachi stories out here than I would have thought. I've read a couple of them that are really good. My favorite one in particular is this one called Auld Lang Syne. Like the New Year's Eve song. And when I first read it, I was kind of like, I'm not sure about this. But as it went on, I was like, no, this person knows what they're doing. They're a very good writer. I definitely recommend checking it out. But just to reiterate, it's not about Kirito at this point. He's an important part, but his relationships that are happening, they're not the main focus of the story. What's happening to Mataris and the people that he's with, that's more. I suppose this chapter is a little bit of a deviation from that because it was very little was written in first person.
Yeah. One could argue that it's all one grand scheme, and you want to kind of make it more dense with information, but that's up to you.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. I feel like, but. That's all the reviews that we've got for this chapter. So, thank you guys for putting up your reviews. I hope we've been able to comprehensively answer your concerns, and I look forward to seeing what you guys say about the next chapter, which will be coming up here in a couple days. So, until the next one, take care, guys. I'm the Red Swordsman, and I'm out of here.
Hey, thanks.